Hey guys, thanks for tuning in this video. Today I'm going to be sharing my 1 month recap on my journey as becoming a web developer. So if you're not familiar with my channel, my name is David Justice. I'm currently a real estate agent and I'm teaching myself how to code so that I can become a web developer and mobile app developer. I've been learning since early May, and I'm going on almost 2 months, about a month and a half in. And I decided to do this video to give you guys a recap. I'm kind of late, I know, but my 1 month recap. So I wanted to share with you guys how it's been going, especially since I didn't know anything before this, and also share a couple of my projects, a couple of resources I'm using, and honestly, again, just kind of give you guys an insight into what I've been experiencing. The first thing I'll talk about is how it's been from the jump. So I had no experience before this. I never used HTML and MySpace. I knew what web development kind of was, but I really wasn't familiar with where to start. I didn't have time to do a coding boot camp, nor funds, or go back to college. So I decided to go self-taught route. I decided to use the Odin project, which I will do a review probably in a week or two of the foundations course, which I did actually finish in about a month and a half. It was very tough for me. The projects were hard, the lessons are hard, there's a lot of information. And the Odin project has kind of, I don't want to say the open source route, but it has a lot of articles and materials that you can read for more information that go really in depth about a specific topic. And it just was so overwhelming. There's a lot of information. But it also was kind of cool because by the end of the foundation course, you can say that you know how to code a little bit. It definitely got your hands a little dirty and gave you an intro into what you can expect to see. So that's what I kind of worked on mostly the first month and a half. I also did a little reading. So this book right here, I think it's called The Beginner Step-by-Step Coding Course. It has multiple languages, not just JavaScript. It kind of breaks it down into like software development, writing code with maybe not necessarily scripting languages, but like Scratch. I didn't really look into that section. I really just looked in the web development section, and it went teach you pretty much how to create a full web page, not the back end, just the front end using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. It's pretty good. It's pretty simplified. There's a lot of images in here. Yeah, so it kind of breaks down like in simple, language, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and then it gives you a practice website in there. So this is kind of good. I kind of started off with it, but when you're first starting out, you kind of still don't understand what. So for my first month, I was really using this book and the Odin project to learn, and also YouTube. I watched a billion YouTube videos from actual lessons, courses, little like learn JavaScript in 5 minutes type of stuff. So first month, I would say it's pretty good. I think I'm impressed by a lot of what I've learned already. I moved pretty fast. But there's also a lot, I feel like, just a lot of concepts that I just did not get, that I keep revisiting in the foundations course. And I think that's fine. I'm a little tough on myself. I want to learn really fast, but reality of it, it's only been a month and I'm not going to learn everything. The next part we kind of went over a little bit is some of the projects I did. So this first one is probably the one that I'm really impressed with. As you guys can see, I'm learning code on my iPad. Probably shouldn't do that. I will probably be getting a laptop this month. My wife has one, but it's her work computer. I don't really want to mess with it. So I've been trying to make a development environment on my iPad. So all my projects and stuff have been on this first, and it's been going well. Certain things have been a little difficult. Certain lessons I can't do, like installing certain things. But just learning vanilla JavaScript and learning concepts and practicing making basic web pages, haven't had any problem. So the first project that I probably would like to show you guys is a landing page. I've built a bunch of them, but this one was probably one of the first ones that I made. The code was pretty horrible. I don't know if you guys can see this, but I had a startup idea. I'm still kind of working on this in the progress. Pretty much I was making a website / social media site for real estate agents. Since I'm a real estate agent, I've been trying to find referrals, and it's really hard to do that. So I decided, as a mock example, to start really building a web page, just a landing page to talk about the idea. So I made this little newsletter form from scratch. This is actually an image that I just put in there. I made it with Canva. This button doesn't do anything. And then I was really just working with flex blocks up at the top here. And honestly, this was like in my first 2 weeks, so it wasn't really that good, but it kind of gave me an intro into, what that could look like building web pages. So I would say the site is pretty trash, but it was cool, just kind of see something. This one was pretty hard. This one was my second last project, was the Etch-a-Sketch project, and the Odin project. And I have to say, I definitely think it could be better. Trying to put my own touch on it. So I was stuck. The first time I saw it, I was really scared of it. And I kind of took a break for a couple of days and tried to learn all these different concepts. Then I watched a tutorial on how someone else did it. Then I go through the Discord for the Odin project. And I just tried to get bits and pieces from everywhere to really just get a concept. And after about a week of kind of stalling, I felt confident to try it. And it started off pretty well. And then I got stuck again. So the way the Odin project wanted to do it was the hover. And I did that, but it was kind of annoying because I've been using my iPad and iPhone, so I wanted you to be able to click on it because you don't have a mouse. So this does have a mouse, and the way you did is you pretty much just put in at the top how many squares you want, and this number will be multiplied by itself. So 16 by 16 is 256, and then at the bottom you just pick the color you want. And then when you click, it has the grids. And then you can press red, it erases it, whatever. So my third project was kind of like a personal project. I really wasn't getting how to link a script, like a JavaScript script. But then I also wanted to really just kind of see how HTML, CSS, and JavaScript all came together. So this project is really simple, doesn't look like anything special. But pretty much I wanted to make like a pay calculator. You put in how much you make, how many hours you make, you worked, how many, which hourly rate, and put your name in there, and it would tell you how much you could get paid. So if you I put my name in here, and then if I put, I worked 40 hours, and I said my pay was, I don't know, $20, and you click submit, it'll say, David, your pay will be $800. So it's really simple. The UI is pretty simple. I was just playing around with different things on here, different techniques and stuff. But yeah, it was kind of a simple project. Definitely wouldn't put that on a portfolio. There's multiple projects I've done. The last project that I did, it was like a personal project that I really like to show. It's probably like the most proud one I have. Is my Google clone. So apparently the Odin project that used to be a requirement on the foundations, it wasn't on this time, but I saw a lot of people do it, and I just kind of was like, I want to get a crack at it. So I didn't watch any tutorials for this one. I didn't like look at anybody's code, anything. I just would say, you know what, I'm going to just look up the Google search page and try it myself. And I'm sure you guys probably think it's very simple, but for me, I really wanted to see like what it could feel like to see like an image and copy it without knowing how to do it. This is my Google search clone. I've seen people actually just copy the logo image here. I could have did that and saved time. All of these are simple letters, and I changed the color of each one, so I made this looking from scratch. The search bar, you can type in here and stuff. And then these do change when you hover over them, little animation. And then each one of these, just like the normal search page, they underline. And then the logos, gray squares at the back. And you can't see here, but the image has a little background too when you hover. And then at the bottom, I do have the little footer. Certain things, it's not perfect. I wasn't using the actual Google font that they have, so this E should be slanted. Then this, when you, on the regular Google page, just kind of like does some animation. But in general, I think it was pretty good. And the last project, most recent one, was this calculator project, which I'll be very honest, I actually continued to go to the next part of the Odin project, the JavaScript pathway, even though I would say this project is not complete. And the reason I did that is because I was kind of stuck. I think the UI, it looks really good. I think it looks like a really good calculator, and I'm really proud of that. So the CSS, I think I got down pat, and HTML. The JavaScript, it does link, it does some basic functionality of it, but I think I'm still like having problems making good code in JavaScript. So here's my calculator. I built this pretty quickly. You can press, do some basic math. Plus 8 equals, and you had a number there at 9. So The glitches I have is the race function is not working too well. The second thing is when you want to add to the second number over here, if you try to add 2 digits, it doesn't work. So that's the problem. I can only add multiple digits to this side and not that side. And also my multiplication function. So there's 3 glitches I have. I'm almost there, but I'm still very proud of how it looks and that it does somewhat kind of work like a calculator. So next thing I'm talking about is the future. This next month I'm working on a JavaScript pathway, so it goes into intermediate HTML, CSS, advanced HTML, CSS, also intermediate and advanced JavaScript. Then it goes into using Node.js for the the back end. Learning one database language, so I think it's MongoDB, and then also learn Express.js, which I believe is a backend framework using JavaScript and Node. So I really am looking forward to it, but it's a lot of stuff, and rumor has it it's 1,000 hours. I don't know if that's true or not, but I've looked into it, and it's definitely going to get more difficult. It's a lot of information, but I'm excited to grow and learn. And then I also want to work on more projects. I'm really honestly not looking to touch these old projects up right now. I really want to just continue learning, and as my skills grow, I'll go back to some of these old ones to revamp them. The last thing I want to do is clone 2 more websites. I haven't decided what. I'm kind of trying to find simple websites right now just to kind of practice, and as my skills grow, I'll do more advanced things. But yeah, JavaScript, Pathway and Owen project, clone 2 more websites. Those are kind of my goals for this next month. And also make maybe 1 or 2 personal projects again. So all in all, it's been going well. I have to say I'm definitely hooked on coding. My wife's probably annoying because I do any free time I get, I'm on my computer working on it. So I definitely am looking forward to grow in the skill and in the industry. Hopefully one day I will either be able to complete my startup idea. Again, I decided to code because I couldn't find someone to do what I wanted to do, so hopefully I can eventually make an app myself. But in the meantime, I really want to just grow in JavaScript and HTML, CSS. So thank you for tuning this video. Hopefully, if you guys are trying to go the self-taught route yourselves, you guys are progressing as well. And if you have any questions about my personal experience, feel free to comment below. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video.